15 years ago
that
today, my
God
mother
called
had
Jesus Christ
terminal
did it
stage
for her.
4 ovarian cancer.
Awesome
It was
testimony
all over her ovaries.
from the awesome
She had
God.
4 tumors around her
Listen to
heart that
this.
were asleep, and one of them overlapped a nerve connected to her lung, which shut down the entire diaphragm. My mom was breathing on one lung. But my mother, being the determined and stubborn woman that she once was, she said that she had refused, if she was going to go and be with the Lord, that she refused to die with cancer. But no doctor here in San Diego, California wanted to work on my mother because they knew immediately that she would die on the operating table. Because unfortunately, with a procedure like that, for a hysterectomy, you have to lay down. And so we came by faith, knowing that God was going to some way, somehow make a way through. All God needs from you tonight is faith as tiny as a mustard seed, because the Bible says that we can move mountains. And luckily, a doctor did step forward. There was a doctor who stepped forward and said, I'll do the surgery on you, but I need you to sign liability waiver. And so my family signed waivers. Are you sure? Like, you can live a little longer if you don't go on the operating table. Like, family members were asking my mom this. At the time, I was only 13 years old. And help me, Lord, get through this without crying. We signed the liability waivers. The day of the surgery came, which was June 30th, 2010. And I remember laying in that hospital bed with my mom, waiting for the time to come. This peace of God just fell on us. Like, this peace, so heavenly peace. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, you would think we would be in that room crying, but we were laughing and we were talking about memories and we were laughing with my mom, and it was just so peaceful. We were just so full of joy when it was basically her last hours and she was dying. She was going to die on that operating table. Man, I remember my mom started praying over the nurses and started praying over their hands. I remember my mom told the surgeon right in front of me, she said, let me pray for you. And the surgeon rolled her eyes and said, I don't believe in a God. I believe in science. And my mom said, let me just pray for you. And she kept rolling her eyes. She said, no, I don't believe in this God. I don't believe in this. And my mom said, if this is truly my last wishes, let me pray for your hands. Let this be my last wishes. And so the doctor, literally, I was there. She rolled her eyes. She went, here, and put her hands out. My mother grabbed those hands and my mother prayed. My mom said, Lord, show this doctor the mighty doctor that I serve. Let your hands guide her. Let your hands. And my mom went on full on prayer mode, right? She said, show this doctor what a mighty God I serve. Show this doctor your signs and wonders. Show this doctor. Like, my mom went full on prayer mode. That's just the mother that I had. And I pray one day to be half of the woman of God that she was. Whew. What should have taken several hours of surgery was less than 30 minutes. Truly less than probably even that, to tell you the truth. The surgeon comes out. You just hear screaming coming out. She's in her apron. I don't care if TikTok flags me. God deserves to be glorified. She's still in her apron, still in her operating gloves. She still has my mother's blood on her. Like, she ran out of the operating room. My dad fainted because my dad thought that the surgeon was going to say that my mom died on the operating table. My dad fainted. My grandma and I both stood up, because we're already thinking that we're going to be told that my mother died. And literally the surgeon screaming frantically. Like, I cannot even emphasize how much she was screaming. And she kept screaming over and over, there has to be a higher power. And she literally fell on her hands and knees, as God is my witness. And she fell on her hands and knees and she said, there has to be a higher power. And she kept screaming. It was so bad to a point security had to come and grab the surgeon because she was losing it. She was losing it in the waiting room, and other people are seeing. I'm telling you, she still had her apron on. She still had the mask on, like the operating gloves, the tools, everything. She's bawling, and she was like, there has to be a higher power. There has to be. I have to do tests. I don't know. And we're like, what is going on? And my grandma, I was just shocked, and I was, to tell you the truth, being traumatized of what I was seeing. And literally my grandma literally grabs the surgeon as security is literally dragging her back to the operating room, and she's yelling and she's saying there was no cancer, when 3 days before I did an MRI and I did multiple scans. We did several scans, and there was cancer all infested in your mother's ovaries and uterus. And when I opened up your mother, there was no cancer.